Victor Harrington, a billionaire with access to the world's greatest doctors, stood helplessly as his newborn daughter's life slipped away. 10 top specialists had tried everything, every machine, every medicine, every breakthrough treatment. Nothing worked. And then, in the hospital's shadowed courtyard, he discovered a homeless teenage girl doing the unthinkable. What happened next would change not only his family, but an entire city. The morning begins with Maya curled up on a worn blanket beneath a bridge. The city roars above her cars, honking, people rushing, skyscrapers gleaming in the distance. She wakes to the chill of dawn, clutching a small backpack that holds her only possessions, a faded photo of her parents, a notebook filled with sketches, and a half-empty water bottle. Hunger gnaws at her stomach, but she pushes forward. Her daily routine is survival. She searches for scraps behind bakeries, sometimes trading a smile for a stale roll. She visits the shelter, where she shares her food with younger children, even when she barely has enough for herself. Despite her circumstances, Maya radiates warmth. She comforts others with gentle words. Tomorrow will be better. Hold on, her nobility lies in her resilience. She has lost everything her parents in a tragic accident, her home, her sense of security, but she refuses to lose her humanity. She sketches in her notebook, drawing images of hope, children laughing, families reunited, a city where no one is forgotten. Meanwhile, Victor Harrington lives in a penthouse high above the city. His mornings are filled with meetings, assistants, and endless phone calls. Yet beneath the polished exterior, Victor is unraveling. His daughter Clara, only weeks old, suffers from a rare illness. He has flown in 10 of the world's top doctors, each promising solutions, each leaving in defeat. Victor's wealth, once a source of pride, now feels useless. He watches Clara's tiny chest struggle for breath, and for the first time in his life, he feels powerless. His empire cannot buy her health. His philanthropy cannot heal her. His heart aches with desperation. One evening, after another failed medical attempt, Victor steps outside the hospital, his face heavy with despair. There, he notices Maya sitting quietly, humming to a child at the shelter nearby. Her voice is soft, her presence calming. Something about her draws him in, her compassion, her courage despite poverty. Their worlds collide when Clara's condition worsens, and Victor, in a moment of desperation, allows Maya near his child. What she does next defies logic, science, and expectation. Victor Harrington stepped outside the hospital, his shoulders heavy with despair. The city lights blurred through his tears as he questioned everything: his wealth, his power, his ability to protect his family. Just then he noticed Maya sitting on the hospital steps, her arms wrapped around a shivering child from the shelter. She was humming softly, her voice fragile yet soothing, like a lullaby carried on the wind. Victor paused. Here was a girl with nothing, no home, no family, no security, yet she radiated a calm strength he hadn't felt in weeks. He watched as Maya tore her last piece of bread in half, giving it to the child beside her. Hunger etched her face, but compassion defined her actions. When their eyes met, Victor saw something unexpected. Not pity, not fear, but understanding. Maya recognized his pain, even though his suit and polished shoes marked him as someone from another world. "Is she sick?" Maya asked gently, noticing the exhaustion in his eyes. Victor hesitated, then nodded. "My daughter?" No one can help her. Maya's gaze soft. Sometimes it's not about medicine. Sometimes it's about love. Victor, skeptical yet desperate, allowed Maya into Clara's room. The doctors frowned, whispering about liability and risk, but Victor silenced them. He needed hope, even if it came from the unlikely source. Maya approached the fragile baby, her hands trembling. She whispered softly, telling Clara stories of resilience, of children who survived storms, of hope that never dies. She placed her hand gently on Clara's chest, humming the same lullaby she had sung outside. To everyone's astonishment, Clara's breathing steadied. The monitors beeped with renewed rhythm. Victor's eyes widened. Was this coincidence or something deeper? Victor, overwhelmed, offered Maya money, but she shook her head. "I don't want your money. I just want her to feel safe." It was the first act of kindness exchanged between them. Victor's trust in Maya, and Maya's gift of compassion without expectation. "Victor, why would you help me?" "You don't even know me." "Maya, because pain is universal. I've felt it too. And sometimes kindness is the only medicine we have." Victor realized that Maya's strength wasn't in wealth or knowledge, it was in her heart. For the first time, he saw beyond her ragged clothes and into the soul of someone extraordinary. Before we continue with this incredible journey, I spent countless hours researching and crafting this story to bring you something truly meaningful. If stories like this touch your heart, and you want to see more acts of kindness that restore faith in humanity, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. It means the world to me and helps these important stories reach others who need to hear them. Now, let's see what happens next. In the days that followed, Victor allowed Maya to spend more time with Clara. Each visit seemed to bring subtle improvements. Clara's breathing steadier, her tiny fingers curling around Maya's hand. The doctors remained skeptical, but Victor couldn't ignore the evidence. Maya's presence became a quiet comfort in the sterile hospital room. She told Clara stories of resilience, sang lullabies, and even sketched little pictures to tape near her crib. Victor watched, astonished at how this homeless teenager carried herself with dignity and tenderness. Victor began to open up too. He confessed his fears, his guilt, his frustration at being powerless despite his wealth. Maya listened without judgment. "Sometimes," she said softly, "the strongest thing you can do is admit you're human." Their bond deepened. Victor started bringing Maya meals, ensuring she had a warm bed at the shelter. Maya, in turn, taught him small lessons about gratitude, how even a smile could be a gift, how kindness could ripple through strangers. Not everyone approved. Victor's board members whispered about reputational risk. A homeless girl in the hospital? Around your child? They scoffed. Even some doctors questioned his judgment, but Clara's nurses noticed something remarkable. Inspired by Maya's compassion, they began volunteering extra hours, comforting other families and offering support beyond their duties. Maya's kindness was contagious. Victor's wife, Elena, initially hesitant, grew to admire Maya. She saw how Clara responded, how Victor seemed lighter, more hopeful. Elena began spending time with Maya, asking about her life, her dreams. For the first time, Maya felt truly seen. Just as hope blossomed, a storm hit. Child Protective Services intervened, questioning Maya's presence in the hospital. "She's a minor, homeless, without guardianship. This is unsafe," they declared. Victor fought back, insisting Maya had saved his daughter when 10 doctors failed. But bureaucracy loomed large. Maya herself began to doubt. "Maybe they're right," she whispered. "Maybe I don't belong here." Victor faced a choice: risk his reputation and fight for Maya, or let the system push her away. His commitment was tested. Maya's faith wavered. The bond they had built teetered on the edge of collapse. "Victor, you belong here. You saved Clara. You saved me. Maya, but I'm just nobody. They'll never listen to me. Victor, then I'll make them listen. Because kindness doesn't need a title. It needs courage." The stakes rose. Would Maya be forced out, leaving Clara vulnerable again? Or would Victor's newfound humility and determination prove stronger than the system? Victor refused to let bureaucracy erase Maya's role in Clara's recovery. He stood before Child Protective Services, not as a billionaire flexing power, but as a father pleading for compassion. "This girl saved my daughter when 10 doctors failed. She belongs here." Elena joined him, her voice steady. "Maya is family now." The hospital staff rallied too. Nurses testified to Clara's progress. Families spoke of Maya's kindness, and even skeptical doctors admitted her presence had made a difference. The community, once divided by wealth and poverty, united in defense of one homeless girl's compassion. Maya, overwhelmed, realized she wasn't invisible anymore. People saw her, valued her, believed in her. For the first time since losing her parents, she felt she belonged. Clara's health improved dramatically. Her tiny chest rose with steady breaths. Her eyes opened wider. Her laughter filled the hospital room. Victor wept as he held her, whispering, "You're going to be okay." Maya, standing nearby, smiled through tears. She had given more than hope, she had given life. Victor's transformation was just as profound. The man who once measured worth in dollars now measured it in kindness. He began funding shelters, creating programs for homeless youth, and inviting Maya to help lead them. Elena embraced Maya as a daughter, offering her a home, education, and a future. Maya's journey shifted from survival to thriving. She pursued her love of art, her sketches now displayed in community centers. She spoke at schools, inspiring children to believe in kindness. Months later, Victor walked past the same hospital steps where he had first seen Maya. This time, Maya was there too, but not as a homeless girl. She was surrounded by children, teaching them to draw, offering them food, and reminding them they mattered. Victor watched, humbled. The roles had changed. Maya, once the recipient of kindness, was now the giver. The ripple effect had begun. "Victor, you saved my daughter, but you also saved me. Maya, we saved each other. That's what kindness does, it multiplies." The city, once fractured, began to heal. Wealthy families volunteered at shelters, homeless children found mentors, and strangers offered smiles where silence once reigned. This story shows how one act of kindness can change everything. What's one way you could make a difference in someone's life today? Challenge yourself and share your commitment in the comments. Months later, the city looked different. The shelters were fuller, not with despair, but with hope. Victor Harrington had transformed his wealth into programs that gave homeless youth education, health care, and mentorship. Elena worked alongside him, ensuring compassion guided every decision. And Maya? She was no longer the girl on the streets. She lived with Victor's family, attending school, pursuing her art and speaking at community events. Her sketches, once hidden in a worn notebook, now hung in galleries, each piece telling a story of resilience and kindness. Clara, the baby once at death's door, thrived. Her laughter echoed through the Harrington home, a living reminder of the miracle that kindness had created. Nurses who had witnessed Maya's unthinkable act continued volunteering, inspired to treat every patient with humanity first. The ripple effect was undeniable. Strangers began helping strangers. Wealthy families partnered with shelters. Children learned that kindness was not weakness, but strength. The city, once fractured, was healing. This story reminds us of a powerful truth. Kindness is the most transformative force in the world. It crosses boundaries of wealth, status, and circumstance. It heals wounds that medicine cannot. It unites communities that division once tore apart. Victor discovered that money cannot buy compassion. Maya discovered that even in her darkest moments, her kindness could light the way. And Clara's survival became the symbol of what happens when humanity chooses love over indifference. The lesson is clear. One act of kindness can change everything. Stories like this remind us that extraordinary kindness exists all around us. If this touched your heart, please like this video. It helps more people discover these inspiring stories. Subscribe for more tales of human kindness that will restore your faith in humanity. And most importantly, look for opportunities in your own life to be someone's unexpected blessing. What act of kindness will you perform this week? Share your commitment in the comments below. I read every single one. Thank you for watching. And remember, you have the power to change someone's entire world.